Now, welcome to our Monday Motivation. I'm excited to be able to talk to you this morning because I'm going to talk to you about something that each and every one of us have to watch out for. And we'll just call that selfish ambition. There was once a young man who was attending his first year at college. And as he went to one of the classes, the professor decided that what he was going to do was he was going to give everyone a pop quiz, just kind of like popped right out of the hat. And this young man, he wasn't really accustomed to that happening in college. You know, it happens in grammar school and occasionally in high school, but in college, he thought that it was quite strange that he would be given a pop quiz. And so, as he was given this pop quiz, interestingly enough, he went through all of these different questions. He seemed to think that this pop quiz was really unnecessary, and it was, boy, this was so elementary that anyone would ever know, or they would all know the answers. They would know them quite readily. So he thought, what about all of this? Until he got to the last question. The last question was quite puzzling to him, and he thought, what in the world does this have to do with anything? And they were asked the question of, what is the first name of the woman who cleans the school? And he thought about it. He thought about it, and he said, well, you know, I know that she's got dark hair. I see her walking around with a broom, and she's got long hair, and she's in her early 50s, and it's not really any part of my life or anything that I'm doing. So really, she just cleans the school. And so he decided that he was going to leave it blank. And so he went up to the professor's desk, and when he did, he put his paper on the professor's desk when another student raised his hand and asked the professor a question. Quite an interesting question, actually. He said, the last question is somewhat puzzling. Are we going to actually get any part of our grade by the last question? And the professor said, yes, it's going to be the majority of your grade, whether you realize it or not. And he said, but why? What does that really have to do with anything that we're attempting to learn? And the professor answered with these words in the young man's hearing as he was standing there. He said, throughout life, when you enter your career, you're going to come in contact with many, many people. And unless you know their name, your life is going to be greatly hampered. Because each and every person that you come in contact with in life has a name, and they're someone in God's eyes. You need to realize that you'll never look into the eyes of someone that God doesn't love. You'll never look into the eyes of anyone who is insignificant, who doesn't really mean anything. Each and every person has a name, and that name has along with it what that person plays, what role that they play in your life. Well, the Apostle Paul dealt with this just as well. In Philippians chapter 2, he talks about it, and he said this. He said, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. He said, but with lowliness of mind, let every man consider others to be better than himself. He said, now every man must not look upon his own things, but also look upon the things of others. He needs to look upon the things of other people, what other people are going through. He needs to be interested in what seems to be happening with other people. And so he said, now, don't let anything be done. Don't do anything angrily. Don't do anything because you just got into it with another person. But he said, also, don't do anything out of selfish ambition. Selfish ambition. All about you. When it's all about myself, it's just that I use people for whatever I want to be able to use them for. That's not what God ever designed us for. And this young man, interestingly enough, this young man actually remembered this lesson that that professor had taught him. And so throughout his life, he made it his aim to be able to find out the first name of every person that he came in contact with. What do you think happened with that young man? He became very, very successful. I remember one person who said something quite interesting. He said, remember the names of everyone that you meet while you're going up the ladder. He said, because you're going to see them again when you come down that ladder. Let nothing be done through selfish ambition, but with lowliness of mind. Let every man consider others to be better than themselves. May you and I actually treat others that they're better than us in every way. My desire is to be able to look at the lowest or the least of these, our brothers, the least of God's creation, and to make them understand that to me, they're the most important thing that God had ever, ever, ever created. I pray that you're encouraged. I really do. And that you stay motivated this week. Be an encouragement. Be an encouragement to everyone that's around you, everyone that you come in contact with. I'll see you soon. Now, invite someone to church. Invite them to church. Invite them to watch. Do a watch party. Then invite them to come in person this Sunday and to share everything that you and I get to share together. I love you. God bless.